Yo, what's up guys? It's Mixnob here, and in this video I'll be showing you how I mix my FX. In the previous videos I showed you how I mix my melodies and my percussions. So you can check that out. The link is on the description, and you can also check other videos to follow up as well. So this is basically how I mix my risers and drops. I group them together and I call them FX. So let me show you how I mixed it. So let me mute all these plugins so I can hear how this effect sounds without the plugins on, and I'm going to play how it sounds with the plugins on and explain to you what I did. And yeah, so let's start with the EQ. I'm using the same EQ. I took out all the low ends, all the frequency to like 500 hertz. So I reduced to minus 7.3 dB. So everything below that was off, was out. And on the 1K I reduced minus 2 decibel. Now this is just to remove all the low end and all the body of this particular effects because it's not needed. So that is what I did with this EQ. And on the high end I reduced minus 1.2 decibel as the 8 kilohertz here, and at the 16 kilohertz I reduce minus 2 decibel. This is just to kill a little bit of brightness on the effects. And I increase my drive to 10.2, and this time around I'm using the circuit to my phase is at natural and the volume is at 0. So that is what I use this EQ. So let's hear how it sounds with this EQ on and off. So you can hear how bright this sounds, or more cleaner this EQ is actually making this effects sound. So I added a DSR. This is the next thing I added. I know this is not something anyone would do, but I mean, I wanted to key every frequency that would make my listening sound harsh. Um, it looks so dramatic, but trust me, it's actually not doing much. It's just killing those high ends. So what I did, my range, I took it down to 48 hertz. My threshold is at minus 51 decibel. Then what I did, this is how it looks normal. Engineers normally use this or this. So what I did was to, take it to a wide band. So to affect everything above this frequency, 5506 hertz, and everything below it. So this is like a wide range. Um, like I said, it was intentional to kill any harsh frequencies. So let's play a before and after so you can hear what this is actually doing. Let me mute it. So it's very, very subtle. It's like it's not really doing much. And finally, on this particular bus, this effect bus, I added this Apex Vintage Exciter. This is just to excite this a little bit and give it more presence, more brightness. That is why I'm using this. So my aux mix is at 4.551 and my output is on 0. So I'm using both for my melodies and this effects. I'm using the same mode, um, mix 1. So that's what I'm using. So let's hear how it sounds before or with and without it. So it's very, very subtle. This is a very bright element, so I have to be careful with it. Then finally, I added the reverb to the same reverb I used on the melodies, and the mix is at 12.4. So let me play for you so you notice the difference. So this is just to give it more life. It was intentional to make it sound a bit washy and lively in a space and also backward a little bit. So that's what I use this reverb for. So this is pretty much it on the FX. Um, let's go to my effect sense. I used an equalizer on my first reverb. This reverb one, more of a slapback delay. So it's a short reverb I'm using on this reverb one. So this is only for my percussion. So you can see here I removed 500 hertz. I'm using the low shelf filter to remove 500 hertz, and I took out minus 10 dB of gain reduction with this particular equalizer. And the reverb I used is a true verb reverb plugin. I use this preset tight NY room. So this is a very, very short reverb. I'm going to exaggerate the percussion so you can hear what this reverb is doing. On this mixer, I didn't need the direct sound, so I just wanted the wetness on it, and I left the reflection way up on zero. So this is what I did on this reverb. Let me show you the delay we were hearing earlier on the reverb when I engaged the plugin. So this is a delay bus. So this is a delay. What I did, I sent this delay to this reverb. I sent at 20 decibel minus 20 decibel to this particular reverb one. Then on this delay, I added an EQ first, the same amount, 500 hertz, and minus 10 decibel to kill the low end of this delay. Then here comes the delay. This delay I'm using. This TR5 tape delay echo. This is from T-Rax. Yeah. So what I did was to sync the BPM of the beat to the delay, and which is 1/4, and I reduced the volume to 3 dB. So the both side to 3 dB, I left the sustain. So that was where it was. And I added this other plugin, this Fin Micro. I think this is from UJam. Let me be sure. Yeah, this is from UJam. So Fin Micro. I used the preset flanger just to add a little bit of effect to the delay. And this is my reverb to my long reverb that I sent to my melodies and to my FX to give it this space as well. Let me show you what I did. So this is an EQ I used on it first before putting the reverb. 500 hertz minus 10 decibel of gain reduction on this frequency. So everything below that is out. I use the low shelf filter, and I'm using the high shelf filter also to remove 7,500 hertz and minus 5 dB of it, just to clean up that high end. I don't want, since it's a long reverb I'm using, I don't want that tail to have this high end on it. So that's why I'm using this particular EQ curve to do, EQ filter to do rather. Then on the reverb, I'm using True Verb as well. So on this particular plugin, I'm using the presets Millennium Verb. So this is a very, very long reverb. So on this reverb, okay, let me load it up so you see how it came when I inserted this preset. So you can see this was really, really high. So what I did was to reduce this and off my direct signal. So I didn't need this direct signal. So that's what I'm using, what I'm doing on this reverb. The sweet thing about this is that it doesn't ring out in your ear, right? You will notice it's just an ear candy something. You will really notice it until I stop playing. So this is just to give that sense of space, like this 3D feel. So that is what this delay is doing. So one final thing I did was to send my reverb 1, reverb 2, and my delay to a glue bus. So this is where I added a compressor. I added a compressor to this to glue this effect and make it louder. So this is a low level compressor. I increased the low level to 10 and the high level to -10. And normally I will reduce the output to balance the volume, but this time around I didn't do that. I left it this way just to increase the volume a bit. So that's what I did with my FX. So this is how I mix my beats, but this varies based on the type of beats and of course my knowledge as well. I research a lot, and during the course of this research, I come across things that improve my skill. So for now, this is how I mix my beats. So guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel to keep the channel growing. Also click on the bell button to get notified whenever I drop the next video. See you soon.